everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Miss Opinionated with your host Esther. So glad to have y'all here. Apologies in advance for any background noise y'all hear. I'm in my room currently. The last episode was filmed in this little space in the library, but definitely the next thing that I will be investing in is microphones and just like sound stuff so that my podcast can do well and y'all can hear me as best as possible. But yeah, I want to get straight into today's episode. A little bit of update for my life is I just came back from spring break. I literally just moved back in maybe 3 hours ago. I live 2 hours away from my school, and so away for a week. What did I really do? All my friends were in PR, DR, just in another country or just outside of here, and so definitely feeling FOMO, but like it was whatever. I chilled inside. I retwisted my hair for the first time. I think I did a pretty good job. You can't really see it now, but trust, I did a good job. And like also just for my hair in general, like it's been what 9 months now almost since I locked up, and it's like crazy. First of all, how much it's grown because my hair never really grew much in braids. I don't know. I feel like we like black women, we are constantly putting our hair through a lot, like with the braids, the tension and everything, and then wonder why. Maybe it's just a me thing, but like, or about things I hear from other people too, wondering why hair does not grow much. Like I feel like depending on who's doing your braids, like if they are not treating it well, if they're not, if they're doing it too tight, whatever, your hair's just not gonna grow. And I think that was an issue I was having, but like my hair has really flourished in these locks, and I also think like my self love has really truthfully changed. Like I've always loved myself, I've always been a pretty confident person for a long time, but like having locks, especially specifically short locks, like really forces you to love every aspect of your face, of your shape, of your everything about yourself, because like first of all, you can't really hide nothing. Like I can't hide my chubby cheeks. Like there's just stuff I can't hide, and it's also just like the naturalness of like letting your hair just look however, like the awkward phase, like once you get through that, you can really just rock anything. Like you can feel as confident as you want about yourself. And that's truthfully what I feel like this journey has been. So, if y'all been thinking about locking up your hair, shameless plug, I think it's a great idea. And it's a lot cheaper. Also, especially once you learn how to retwist your own hair, it's really not that hard. I have a lot of locks, so it still didn't even take me that much time. But yeah, so spring break has been fun. Yeah, but one thing about spring break that like being back home in general is like how much my dad watches the news, which I love because I don't really have that here like on my TV. I don't think I have the news. And so I've been able to be really locked in all week about, current events. And though I typically am, like this was the first time I was able to like really see stuff happening in real time. Like I'm getting updates specifically about the war, which is what I want to talk about anyways right now, is like the war in Iran. Like, it's very scary stuff. It's very annoying stuff because I don't even want to like repeat myself and the words of so many people, but like how many times am I can't tell you that Trump lied to all of us? Like this is not new information. He said no war. He said affordable everything and focusing on America first. It's been a year and we are in a literal war. Uh, is insane. I think in the news they're talking about sending more troops right at that second they were sending more troops as they were speaking into Iran. Now word is being brought up about a draft, about this and that. It's just like just sparking a lot of like fear. I think the one thing to be grateful for, and also something that I think makes a lot of Americans not like as worried or concerned about the war, is that we're not really seeing the effects like right in front of us, like specifically like the physical and like drastic deadly effects. Like so many people are dying right now in Iran and in Israel as well, like people, and it's everyone who's caught in the crossfires of all this stuff, all of this over some intel about missiles and things that Iran had. But it's basically just Israel, doing what Israel does and telling the United States what to do. And we're just, following because of how much money that territory, that thing, that place gives us and gives politicians. That's why they expect us to back this war. But the thing is, because we as Americans, we have so much privilege that this will never happen on our home territory. Like, even if you just look at the history of all the wars that we've been in, it's never touching, except for like Pearl Harbor and like just smaller things, but like the big played out stuff has always been across the world. The Middle East has really suffered a lot from the greediness and the violence of this country, and it's just really, um, I just hope that we are aware of that, that we can um, step out of this bubble and care about things outside of what's going on. But I know why people care about this war right now is because of gas, and I'll admit that it's crazy. Of course, it's literally the week I go home. That's the only time I'm ever driving, and gas is at its all time high. I think it was like, bro, when I before I went to school, in the winter, it was gas was like 2.89, and I had pretty cheap gas also where I'm from. Like it's pretty cheap, but like it was like 2.80, bro. It was 3.60. I had to fill up. I think I put like 15 bucks in there. Actually, I had to fill it up twice. And people are saying now that their gas is going faster. I don't know if that's true, but like it's weird. It's weird. It's a lot going on, and it's just annoying. Like, oh my god, this is part of the issue. This is part of the issue that at least gets people caring about wanting to get out of a war. If it's not because millions of people are dying, like it should be for if you have some humanity, but it's okay. If it takes your gas prices to be really really high to be mad about something, great, at least you're mad. Curious to see what that anger will do. I feel like when people, I don't really know what it is. I feel like people aren't mad enough in general, like, or maybe I'm just really angry all the time because of everything going on. But it's like, what do you even do with that anger? I feel like we have been overdue for a revolution, truthfully. But it's 250 years anniversary of the United States, and there was this one thing about empires only last for around that long. Maybe eventually we'll get sick and tired, but it's like this country being so big, it's really hard to centralize like revolts. I'm not saying, let me not speak too much before they come knocking at my door talking about you're leading this or that, because I'm actually currently reading Asada's biography, Asada Shakur, and she was literally part of the Black Liberation Army and was framed for a bunch of stuff actually because of her involvement in the liberation movement, wanting to have some sort of revolution. And like the FBI, Quintilapro, like they're still here, and so I can't say too much, even though I only got a couple followers. Like you never know where this stuff could go. So regardless, like anger, I feel it a lot for everything going on, and I'm just curious, like what will collectively get us all angry, and then what will be done with said anger, because we can feel whatever we want to feel, but like, are we gonna actually do anything? I don't know. Regardless, hi, sorry, I had to cut the video quickly because my residents came back. Well, my louder ones, who are typically just always in the hallway talking. For people who don't know me, I'm an RA, so I have my own room, which you're seeing in the back, but I also have, responsibilities that have to be dealt with. But anyways, back to what I was talking about, anger. Feeling a lot of anger. I feel a lot of things just in general. I think it's a very overwhelming time, and because of that, sometimes it just feels like there's a lot. I don't have to, I'm not saying anything unique right now. Like, I think we all live life, we see it every day, we know what's going on, right? So not to beat a dead horse, but like there's just a lot going on. Epstein files or something that has just been brought up a lot as like that's some just very scary dark stuff that I don't even want to touch. Like I see people talking about it. I watched this lawyer, I forgot her name, but like going through some documents for when I have the time, but also most of the time I don't really have the mental space to just even like think about that stuff or see that stuff, because it's like it's frustrating because you already know how corrupt the world is, the government is, what money, fame, and whiteness can do for a person. Like this is something that I already am very aware of. So just seeing it play out in real time and seeing and reading and seeing that those involved, specifically Donald Trump, yes, most of my problems revolve around this man. Seeing that they're not really being held accountable in any way, shape, or form is frustrating. Feels a lot of emotions. So there's that. Obviously, the war in Iran, you're seeing that. I feel terrible for the people living there, like who have to, their worlds are being disrupted right now because of this war with no real aim. Like, the thing is, there's no aim. And uh, that's a lie. There's always an aim with war, and that is domination, power, to for another country to submit, to establish, this big macho boom bomb bam type of country, this type of government of, strength, power. That's what the United States is known for. Having a lot of missiles, having a lot of military power, having a lot of sway in the United States. But I mean, in the world, right? Having a lot of sway in the world and just not minding our business. Also, never ever minding our own business. Like, that's a big thing. America first. I thought that's what he was, running on. Um, Obviously, that's a big part as well. Seeing that in the news, scary. Gaza has been obviously, it's been a big thing for a very long time, just a genocide happening. But I also feel like it's weird that I haven't really heard much about it, because I really think most of the people have passed. Like, truthfully, like, I think it's just it's just become like a graveyard, truthfully. And my hearts really go out to all those people who have lost their lives for this evilness of a country that has of Israel that has harmed these people to take their land. And like, it's really just a lot. And it's weird, I haven't really seen much about it. It's still obviously going. I mean, I really actually don't even fully know the status of that right now, but I know it's you know it's really bad, really scary stuff. Sorry that I'm like not having the proper words. It's not just scary, like, it's obviously a lot more than that, but like, I don't really have the words to describe or talk about it. Then obviously there's genocides constantly in Africa, the Congo right now. It's a really terrible place right now. What's going on to people, the basically slavery that they're experiencing, these really terrible conditions to, create the stuff that we in America and all over the world appreciate and use every day, but never really think about what sacrifices are being made. Not even sacrifices, it's like what lives are really being put at risk for, the acquirement of a lot of these materials that we have. Cost of living is up, because not just the cost of gas. I know living is expensive. I don't have a car, luckily, yet, but I would like one. I don't have an apartment. I'm in college right now, but that itself is expensive. Like, everything is expensive. Everything is expensive, but we're not getting paid enough. Again, minimum wage. Like, there's no way it's $7. Like, the federal minimum wage. Like, Massachusetts, we have $15. Even that, I think, needs to, shoot up to 20. Like, a bare 20 should be the minimum, but like, at least we have the 15. That's still $8 more than the national like mandated wage, which is insane. But then also, the cost of living in Massachusetts is like insane. It's also crazy, like, just everything. Okay, there's a lot going on. And so, with all of that stuff, and I'm sure y'all can add more, I think, because, there's things that we see in the world, and also just things going on personally. Like, everyone has things going on in their own lives that add to, like, the stress of everything. Like, I remember, oh my God, it was crazy. Like, it was probably like a few months into Trump's presidency, or not even, yeah, I think it was last semester or the semester before. So, like, last year, this time last year, yeah, I was in class. I was just having like a long. It was the morning. The day had barely started, but it was still a long day, a long week. Um, and I was, just scrolling on TikTok quickly before class had started, and I saw. I don't remember what the story was, but it was just something really, really sad that had to do with Trump. Had directly to do with Trump being president, like in a policy he put or something, and its effect on people. It might have been about immigration. It might have been because, yeah. And I remember seeing that and literally just broke down. Like, and I don't typically cry, like, just in general, but like, I literally start crying in class. Like, I just had to like excuse myself quickly. But like, that truthfully is how I think a lot of people feel, like, with so much going on in your life, the world. Like, how do you go through that without feeling helpless, without feeling, scared? Like, what do you really do with all those emotions that you might be feeling? And so I kind of wanted to talk about what I've been trying to do or what I'm looking to do, and like just ideas I've seen, from my time just scrolling on YouTube or like reading Substack, just things that I think that might help people, and just stuff that I'm still trying to figure out for myself, for how to not feel helpless. Because I think reaching out to the government doesn't seem like it will do much. Because I think a lot of the issues that's not in, like, personal to myself have to do with policy, like, or just how the government is moving in this, world we're living in. I can't, hit up Donald Trump talking about I'm not gonna vote for you because you're doing this. Like how do we? It's like we can't even really threaten them with. First of all, he doesn't care about our vote because it's his last term. We'll see what actually happens if we'll even have another election after him. But he's a need our votes. At the end of the day, he's not need our votes. He does not need us to approve of him because y'all already voted for him. So he does not need our support. Our local, like, what, our representatives in Congress and Senate. I live in a pretty democratic. Well, Massachusetts is pretty democratic, like one of the more democratic places, and so we at least, like, the senators typically vote the way I want. But it's like also voting is so slow. The bureaucracy is so slow. Like, nothing is being fixed. Like, they're still voting to send money to Israel. They're still voting to restrict, or to allow some of these, like, really restrictive and inhumane immigration processes. And even if they're not voting for it, it's still happening. It's still being allowed, and nothing is actually really being done to stop anything. So reaching out to the government is a no-no. Like, all we can't. There's no more writing letters to our congressman, woman, asking for this and that, because I don't really see. I think that'd just be a waste of energy. Truthfully, maybe we can write like a really mean email to them to get your anger out. But like, if you actually want change, no. And I really actually don't even know how to make change right now. Like, on a globe, I'm not on a, like a nationwide like change. That's just the big things that we're seeing, right? And so I think that's why you kind of have to focus our sights on smaller local things, like getting involved in your local food pantry. Because yeah, cost of living is terrible. Food is really expensive, but at least I can still have a meal. Like, I can still afford to have a meal. I still live with my parents. I can still have a lot of things that other people probably just haven't had in a long time, or don't, or not as lucky as me. So like, giving my time to things, that I can still make a difference in, like feeding people. This weekend I was volunteering at this thing. It's called Love Your Magic. It's for black and brown, like, little girls to feel confident in themselves, help them learn how to set boundaries, help them learn how to just, be people in a world that's constantly trying to tear down black women always. Like, I've experienced that. So being able to give some of my time to just help these little girls, develop it made me feel really good, because I can help or support changing one person's life, because I can't obviously do something on a global or nationwide scale yet. You don't know yet. Eventually that's really is the goal, is to make like lasting nationwide, worldwide change. But for now, while I'm here, 21-year-old, still in college, still trying to get my first degree. Like, I still have a couple more degrees waiting for me. Um, just doing little things like volunteering, I feel like, is a really, if that's where your mind is at. Because also, not everybody wants to, like, quote unquote, change the world. I think people want the world to be a better place, but I think a lot of people are okay with being passive, and that's, honestly, that's okay. For the simple fact that you're still gonna make change, hopefully in your own way that's natural to you. Hopefully the field that you're gonna enter into, like, if you're in it for the right reasons, you can make, change. And not everyone is like community, service oriented. Like, I don't think that's the only way to be a good person. I definitely don't think that. But if you're like feeling like you can't do anything and you want to contribute to something good, community service great way, or just like getting involved with other locals who are feeling similarly stuck and want to like get out. I'm trying to look for places right now in like the hub of Massachusetts, like Boston, to see if I can find people or like find programs that are like that do community action, mutual aid, just stuff like that that I think will give back to local people, even because if I can't do things on a nationwide scale. So there's that. And then, but outside of like the structure community service, it's just like taking care of people near you. Like, I think we can forget that it's not just us really stressing about the world. Everybody else is going through the same stuff, really. And then plus their own personal things that we could probably never imagine unless they were to tell us. And so just being just good people, like, I think it's easy to let anger also affect the way that we treat others and how we show up in the world. But it's like if we can take time to meet new people and like help them feel understood. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but like, I don't care. I was watching a video yesterday on how to master small talk because I don't like to talk really. Like, I prefer to listen, and I'm not really someone who enjoys conversations about meaningless stuff. And that's why I feel like small talk kind of is. It's just like pointless, like stuff to just fill up the time. But it's a really important skill to have, unfortunately, if you want to be in anything in the real world or just or just like just meet people. Like you're never gonna just get to know someone just by being deep off rip. But you gotta start small. So like I was watching a video on how to actually do it well, and people just really want to be understood at the end of the day. Like people want to feel like you care about them because if sometimes it feels the world does not care. Like the world keeps spinning with all of this BS going on. So it's like it's really easy to feel like who cares if I what I do if like this is happening, if this is happening, if all of this is going on right now and nothing seems to be getting better, like who really cares about me? So I think it's just giving people that genuine care and curiosity, being curious about people and like asking them questions and like actually trying to get to know people. Because also we can't get through this by ourselves. Like even if you feel like, oh, I don't need more friends, like you never know like how just having a community in general, you don't have to be besties, but have a community of people that you can rely on for when the revolution does happen. You know who you can shack up with, but also just people that you can just connect with, be in community with, be rant to, I don't know, make friends outside of people that you normally typically stay with. I'm saying this because I'm in college, and I think a lot of the people here, unfortunately, once they built their little like groups, a lot of people were not able to branch out, and I feel like that's really frustrating because like this is like the only time you're gonna be around this many people all at once who are like free enough to hang out, get to know each other. And I'm saying this for myself because I'm an introvert, so it's really hard for me to like get out there. But it's even harder for me to get out there if you don't want to. Like if you want to stay with your group, whatever, I'll find somebody else. But yeah, just trying to be like open to those around you, helping them, supporting them in whatever community aspect that you, I mean, whatever community what's the word, whatever, however you can, in whatever capacity that you have, yes, whatever capacity that you have for supporting new people, supporting those around you, giving them space to feel understood, to feel cared for, to feel loved. Specifically as Black people, like we can't do anything without one another, and we're all going through something similar. And a lot of the stuff, I think once you start talking to other people, also once you get past the small talk and start getting to like the deeper things about like what you're experiencing in your hometown, what you're experiencing in your family, what you're experiencing as a Black person navigating the world, like you'll just see how like similar we are, like how our problems are really rooted in the same thing. Like it's a pattern. Like a lot of the things that we deal with as Black people, they're in different fonts, yes, but like the root is the same. Like we as Black people, I think, are positioned in society, how we're treated by those around us, our financial standing, like a lot of those things are similar, right? And I think if we take the time to talk to people outside of who we typically are around and just get to know others and get to like commune with others and learn about other people, we can see, hey, I'm not alone in this. Like this situation I'm feeling, the situation I'm facing, this feeling I'm feeling, these things that are happening is not just a one off thing. Like there's a word for this. That's why I love blanking, but like this is what I love about sociology, which is my secondary major. Like once I really started studying like systemic racism on a real like level and like seeing how a lot of different factors affect how children specifically grow up in schools and neighborhoods in general, it's like wow, there's actually a name to what I went through. Like it wasn't just me at a low income school with the lack of this, lack of that, that affected maybe not me but the people around me. Like that wasn't a one time thing. Like there's a word for this. There are systems in place to ensure that this happens. And I think that once we can connect those dots, at least the bare minimum is at least understanding that there is something. There's a system. There's something in place. Even if you're not, ready to turn around tomorrow and dismantle that set system, at least the fact that you know that it's there is something. Like just being aware of what's going on. I think you can't really be aware if you're living in your own bubble. Like you have to get out and at your own pace. Of course, again, I'm introvert. Like that's not typical for me, but like still getting out on your own pace and talking and like being in community with other people, I think will be helpful for you and them. And then also with everything stressing me out and the world out, like, and you gotta have faith in something, truthfully. And this is not me telling you to be any religion, to be any spiritual, like anything. I'm just saying it is really depressing to not believe in anything, I think. And maybe I'm wrong. Someone could tell me that's different for them, but like to not believe in anything, I feel like, you can live in a state of cynicism where it's like nothing is worth it. And once you get to that place, there's only really two ways I feel like you can go. You either just go crazy, truthfully, like you don't give a shit about anything. So like you just go insane, or like you get really, really, really sad because like what is the point of anything? So I think I have a strong faith in God, um, and like believing that things will get better. Sorry, my residents came back again. So back to what I was saying. Um, Faith. I think just having a faith in something, like I have a strong faith in God, at least helps me like believe that there is not just sadness forever and that there is a plan, something. Believing that there are things that you can't control and that's for the best, and that there is a light at the end of some tunnel. However way your faith looks like to you, I think just believing in something can just also just help you get your mind out of like this world. Like having believing in higher, something above you, above the people that are sadly in charge of things, believing there's some ultimate being, something that is dictating or at least gonna help dictate, and that we're not too far gone, that we're never too far gone. Like I think having something, building that, even if it's just faith in yourself, faith that you will be okay, faith that everything you've been through is for a reason and that you will succeed, you will, feel better, you'll do better. I think just having some portion of faith in something, in yourself or a person, um can help maybe not make life feel so, life. And then I think the last thing that I want to try doing is writing. I think, again, you feel all these emotions. Might as well make a banger poem or a banger story or a song. Because I think of the Harlem Renaissance, like some of the best works, best artists we've ever had, like in the Black community, just in general, like came from that period of time, and there was so much going on. It was called the Nadir period, whereas like after everything, it was like the lowest point for Black people, like the very lowest. Like people were really suffering every day. Life was hard, as it always is, but like it was a different type of hard. Like we as Black people still have a lot to overcome, but like it was a whole other level back then. But people saw that and they decided to write. Like they wrote about how they were feeling, they wrote about what was going on in the world, and it created like this whole portion of life, this whole time period of the Harlem Renaissance, like so much beauty came from a rough time. And I think looking at that, like looking at the beauty that can come from darkness, from sadness, can be helpful, can be something to keep your mind out of like, the real tragedies of the world. Obviously, I again, the whole point of this is that some things cannot change. Like some things are truthfully outside of our scope and of our power. So like if we're able to at least control how we show up and how we can make ourselves feel better, hopefully that can do something um for our minds, for the people around us, for like just building, for being happier people. If you don't want to be happy, that's also fine. But, sorry, I've had like so many distractions in this filming of this video. Like, first of all, editing this is gonna be annoying. But, anyways, so lastly, I just want to talk about some pop culture stuff. Truthfully, I'm not really on social media as much as I used to be. Like, I'm not even trying to be different. Like, I'm really just trying to. I've been like reading more. I've been trying to like watch more YouTube rather than like TikTok. But I still do love to scroll from time to time. So I'm just saying that because I'm trying to make sure I'm caught up with pop culture so that I can also talk about that here. But the biggest stuff right now is Lotto. She's pregnant. And that can be a whole topic itself. It's like baby mama stuff, whatever, whatever. Like I don't really like to engage in that type of talk because yes, it's harmful, but also it's like I don't know. I don't really like being I don't like being mean. Like I don't like bullying people, even though I don't know, and especially because we don't even know her. Like yes, is she with a married man? Yeah, but I also thought that was for citizenship. Like I don't think that takes away. I don't. Do we even know if the wife cares? I don't think she does. Like, and yes, we are tired of women having babies and no marriage. Yes, I don't even think I have enough time to really formally, like, to really fully talk about my opinion on this. Like, I don't want this to be too long because I also know people's attention spans are very short. So maybe once I start, like, making longer episodes, we can talk more about this. But all I have to say is she's pregnant. Good for her. I hope she has a safe delivery because let's talk about it. Outside of everything, black women having babies is so hard for us. Like our mortality rate is 3 times the amount of white women or just women in general. Like having a baby is really stressful for us. So for us to be hating and just putting all this bad juju into the world, yeah, she's rich, so she can really ignore us. Like at the end of the day, like she's stepping on us right now. But like that stuff, she's still a human being, and like that stuff probably hurts. So it's like keeping it to yourself. You know what you don't want to do. You know you don't want to get married. You don't want to have a baby until you get married. That's for you. I know I don't want to do that either. She's in a position where she can do whatever she wants. She is her own person. She also got money. She can make sure that baby has the best life possible, and that baby will probably have two very involved parents, hopefully. Yeah, we talk about what we don't want in the culture, whatever. But also, why do we let the culture dictate what we do as individuals? That should be what we change. People should not be so heavily influenced by what celebrities are doing. And that should solve all our issues. Let them do what they want to do. Just don't do it. Like, that's why I never understand having this much discourse about bull. Like, oh my gosh. It's the same, because it's the same thing every time. Like, it's literally the same thing. We get it. Another woman's pregnant. Oh, she lost her talent, or her good years are over, or whatever. Like, why are we talking about babies like that? I mean, yes, it's true. Like, when you have a baby, a lot changes, but like a lot is added to your life. Like it's also a good thing, and I don't know. I don't have a kid, so what do I really know? But I don't know. I don't really like the negativity around it because she also had a choice. She said she got that $500, so if she didn't want that baby, she wouldn't have had it. So her sharing that with us. Well, she didn't really have a choice. I mean, she had a choice. She could have hit it, but the internet always knows. Also, but her sharing that with us, like why are we gonna be so like rude and like negative about it? Like I'm not even a Lotto fan. Like I don't even like her music actually. I just don't even think she's a good rapper. But she's a human being. She's beautiful and she's bringing a life into the world. So it's like I'm sending her great vibes. Hope she has a happy, healthy pregnancy, healthy birth, and like whatever she wants to. I don't think she'd ever want to share anything after this response. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, whatever. Do whatever you want. Again, she can do whatever she wants. But yeah, that is it for me. I want to leave you with. What do I want to leave you with? I want to leave you with this book. It is called Rest as Resistance by Trisha Hersey. And it is a really good book about how to challenge the system of capitalism by resting. Because in a world where we are constantly moving, constantly stressed, overwhelmed, feeling angry, like I was talking about before, like we are always like on go, our nervous system is shot. And like how this book talks about how we can use the idea of resting, sleeping, not doing anything as a way to challenge and like defeat the system that is constantly trying to tear us down. Because what I also wanted to add is that like a lot of the stuff that's happening is meant to overwhelm you so that you feel helpless, like you can't do anything, when it's time to actually put our boots on the ground. So it's like, if you are able to regulate yourself, if you're able to actually rest and not allow all of the stressors of the world to tear you down, when it is time to put your feet to the ground, to put and to actually have some action and help change the world however fits you, like you will have the energy and the capacity to do it. So you can show up for yourself, show up for your community fully by taking care of your well-being, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your body by resting, by taking breaks. Because the world is scary. Shut off that phone, delete that app just for a little bit, write in your journal, write a poem, do something. But yeah, Rest as Resistance by Trisha Hersey. That is my book recommendation for you. If you don't have, I got it on audiobook, and also like I have it on my phone. Download the LibGen app. Wait, what's it called? I'm sorry, I have to check because I want to make sure I have it right for y'all. It is called Libby, Libby. Get that app. You can get any book you need, or most books you need, and then you just read it while you're on the bus, or whatever you're doing. Have it on playing in your headphones, whatever. But yeah, that is it for me. Thank you all for tuning in for my second episode, and I'll see you next time.